Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Jess, and today we're just gonna chit chat. You can see here I'm sitting in the grass at the lake, and I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up and talk about some things. If you've been around, you know that back in March I got off of my antidepressant anxiety medication, and things were a little rough for a while, and I was filming and just kind of showing you the real raw stuff, but I feel like I just haven't done an update in a while. But first, I did want to mention that I do have a 30-day challenge coming up in August. So it's actually live right now when you're seeing this video. You can go into the description box below and click the link. It's a $10 fitness challenge. Basically, the $10 gets you into the accountability group on Facebook. It gets you a 4-week fitness guide. There's an at-home version and like a functional fitness version, like with barbells and dumbbells and bands and stuff. And then it also enters you in to win. If you have the best transformation over the 4 weeks, you can win $100. We did just finish up the July 30-day challenge. It was great. Had about 63 people in that group, and so I'm hoping that this group will be a little bit bigger. I know with the school year coming up, people getting back into their like regular routine, especially moms with kids and stuff. So I think that this will be really great. We'll also have some one-on-one coaching opportunities coming open here soon, so just stay tuned for that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there. That'll be the first place that probably that I post about it when the spots become available. Like I said, that is all linked in the description box. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get back into what we're talking about today. So first off, I got off of some medication back in March, and I was struggling. You guys know, if you watch those videos, I was like, every day was just shitty. And the reason I got off the medication is because I felt so dependent on it, and I never in my life wanted to be on medication like that anyway. But I got to this point where I was just kind of desperate and I didn't know what else to do. I'll preface this with saying this is just my experience. I'm not telling you to get off your medication. I'm not telling you to get on medication, anything like that. I'm just sharing my experience. My personal belief is that less is better, mainly talking about like medications and having to be on something long term. And like, obviously there are some people that just need to be on things for certain health condition stuff. I'm at this point where there are things that I can do to, if there are things that I can do to make it better that is not medication, that's what I'm gonna do. For instance, when we're talking about problems in the body that we can fix through diet and exercise, 100%. If there are things that I can do for my mental and physical health, ice baths, exercise, going on walks, meditating, whatever it is that doesn't include some sort of medication, I would prefer that. I would prefer that option. I got diagnosed with depression when I was at like 13, 14 years old. And I tried to take some medication then and just I didn't want to. I did not want to be on medication. So I took a couple and then never took them again. When I got into high school, a little bit further into high school, maybe my junior year, I got on another medication and didn't love it. Both times it was Lexapro. It was maybe a month that I was on that. And now this most recent time, I was about 2 months, no, I lied. I was like 2 years postpartum with my third kid, and I was desperate. And so I got on Pristiq, and it wasn't so bad until I started to miss doses. And then I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm withdrawing. Like I was having brain zaps. If you never had a brain zap, it's almost like a little electrical zap in your brain. I don't know how else to explain it, but or like a CD skipping. It was like my brain was skipping, like a split second. Like I would move my eyes and then it would like do a little skip. It was so weird, so weird. So I hated those, but also I felt numb. I felt so numb to everything. Not that I didn't like have some emotions sometimes, but there were times I'd play with my kids, or my kids would do something really cute or really like funny, and I was just like, I should enjoy that, but I don't. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm not even laughing, I'm not smiling, and I didn't like that. I felt like I was missing out on a big piece of my life, my kids, obviously. I was missing out on like the joy. I'm sitting on something here. I had to move her a little bit because I was sitting like right on a little stump and it's hurting my butt cheek. I just felt like I was missing out on a lot and not actually physically being there missing out, but like mentally, I just didn't feel right. So then I tried to get off the medication, and that was horrendous. I took a whole week off of school, a week and another day off of school, off of work, because I was not okay. Mentally, physically, I felt broken, like just totally broken. And I was really worried, like I was afraid that I wasn't gonna be able to get through that, like, and come out on the other side and be fine, which is kind of, I mean, it's scary to say, like, I don't mean to be dramatic, but like, I literally was like begging God, you know, this is becoming a lot more dramatic than I thought it was gonna be. I just, I didn't know how things were gonna go, and I was afraid. So as time went on, things gradually got better, but it was very slow, a lot slower than I thought it was going to be. And, you know, the withdrawal symptoms went away after a while. It was a few weeks, I think, of the brain zaps. And then just, I felt so tired and fatigued and like short of breath, which is weird, but just a lot of physical things from getting off that medication that were just unpleasant. But moving forward now, I really dove back into being super consistent with my fitness and my exercise routine and being in the gym, even if I wasn't feeling it, going to the gym, keeping my routine, even if I just went and like rode the bike the whole time, or I just went and like walked around and chit-chatted with people. The routine of going was so good for me. So for me, fitness is very much an outlet for me. Like if I go a couple days without sweating really hard and like breathing really hard, I get really anxious. It's like my anxiety is like building up, and when I exercise, it does something to me that just, it helps so much. Now this whole time I've never stopped exercising, basically since I've been out of college and from being an athlete. I've exercised consistently, but I wasn't my normal consistent self in the gym every single day. It was like 3 times a week, and then I would make an excuse of, you know, there was the kids had something going on, or I whatever needed to do something else, and so I wasn't in the gym every single day consistently like I usually am. I had to retract, to just so you know, I was still doing, you know, exercising and all that, but for me, consistency makes a huge difference in just how I feel, my confidence, my anxiety, everything, and it just gives me a little release, and it gives me time to focus on myself and work on myself, when a lot of the time in the day I'm like thinking about my kids and taking care of my kids and stuff. So at the end of the school year, I decided I was going to quit my teaching job and come back home and be a stay-at-home mom again. And that, I think, made me, first off, I felt a lot of relief, because now I'm going back to like not missing all those special things with my kids, and not feeling like I'm, you know, working just to pay for daycare, which, not that it takes my whole paycheck, but you know what I mean, like daycare's expensive, and I get to now spend that time with my kids, go to their field trips, walk them to school, like that kind of stuff. So that was almost like a relief of like, okay, I get to go back and I get to do this, and this is going to be really good for me. So then leading into the summer, just trying to get my diet back on track, eating decent foods and stuff. I wasn't perfect, like through the end of May, June, wasn't, you know, I'm all over the place, but I was a little better than I had been. Then July hits and start 75 hard, have the July fitness challenge and that sort of deal. And I've felt so good and in control of myself, being on track with my eating well, doing things I need to do, like being more on top of my chores around my house and that type of stuff, being more present with my children, getting off my phone, putting my phone down, and like really focusing on them. It's been so good. I can like laugh at the things they do more now. just look at them. I watch them like eat, or just the washing their hands, just the weirdest little stuff. And I'm like, oh, I love that. Actually, yesterday Jay was coming in from the van and he was like carrying his, he used to always throw a fit about having to carry too much to come inside. And yesterday, without me having to ask him to grab all his stuff out of the van, he got his little bucket, his drink, his shoes, and he's like carrying them all and, you know, juggling them. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I turned and snapped a picture, because like that kind of thing, it didn't really mean anything necessarily, but because I know that's something he struggles with, and he just did it and he looked like so grown up, my little 4-year-old. It brought me so much joy, and I was so happy in that moment to like be happy for something so small. And Kai the other day was eating spaghetti, and I just set my phone down and hit record and just let it record him eating spaghetti, because I thought in that moment, like, I never want to forget this. I never want to forget how he's eating his spaghetti right now, because they're growing so fast and it makes me so sad. Oh man, I didn't mean for this to be so emotional. I'm like tearing up. But you know, I've missed the emotions, and of course maybe I'm more like emotional in general now, but I'm telling you, I felt like that. I was robbed of that. I took the medication willingly, but I felt like I was robbed of that this last year. And of course I was at work a lot, so I was like, you know, busy more than just with my kids. And yeah, but like that type of stuff, I like didn't find the joy in it. And I don't know if that sounds bad, or I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I'm so happy that like I find joy in the little things now. And this morning I watched some geese walk across the street. I'll put a little clip in here, but I was watching some geese across the street. I had to stop for them because they're crossing the street, and they're just like, don't give a shit else what everybody else is doing. They're just like, you're gonna wait for me until we get across the street. And I was just cracking up, like, this is so cute. I mean, I could have gotten all mad, like the people behind me were probably all pissy because I was stopped and they couldn't see the geese and whatever, but I was just chilling, like watching these geese cross the street. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to come on here and give you a little update about how I've been doing since, you know, a while back I had some of those videos that just, they were sad and depressing, but like I try my best to just share me and just how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, because for me, I know that, you know, the people that I follow them for a reason. Is because we relate on some level, or, you know, they've gone through something similar that I've gone through. And it's nice to feel not alone in something. So if that's you, great. If not, this is just my experience. So don't feel like you got to go get off your medication, because it's kind of dangerous to do. If it's something you've been on for a long time, don't just go do that, okay? Talk to your doctor. Don't do what I did. The way I did it was terrible, and it was totally torture to myself, but I did it to myself. I'm so happy now though. Anyway, it's getting really windy out here, so I'm gonna pack up and leave. But if you watched this point, thank you for watching. If you're new here and you want to stick around, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. We'll see you in the next one.